Call Catherine Delahunty.
Koe, Mr Chair. Tēnā koutou te whare nui ko tēnei pō. Everyone always says it's a pleasure to take a call. I don't know if it's a pleasure, it's an opportunity. But sometimes it feels less than pleasurable, because when we come to the environment of this country and the annual review of the Ministry for the Environment, which I'm going to speak about, it isn't really that pleasurable to discuss the state of New Zealand's water. And it's interesting because the previous speaker was talking about the Coromandel, which is also where I come from. And everything we have in that place, we fought for. Every bit of environment, every beach, every river, every mountain that was basically under application to be mined, we fought for. And I say we, I mean me and my mates. So I do take pride in being part of a community that stands up for the environment, and I know that the environment is only as good and strong as the community. As for the annual review of MFE, I wasn't on the committee, but I did read the annual review, and MFE have been focused on the environment, but to what end? A lot of rhetoric, a lot of talking, a lot of slogans, a lot of discussion of fresh water. They say that in the annual review, they say that one of their goals is to make sure that fresh water is well governed and sustainably managed for maximum benefit for the future and the present. Unfortunately, they also, in their national reporting, have had to be honest and admit that 62% of our monitored rivers are too polluted to swim in. So it's hardly an indication of the success of the Ministry for the Environment's track record, let alone government of the day, that we're at this rather parlous state with our New Zealand rivers. So the Ministry has spent a lot of time saying that they're going to provide national direction, and yet there is a fight going on in this country, and it's going on community by community, river by river, freshwater consultation meeting by freshwater consultation meeting, where the ministry have to sit there and watch the minister say that it's impossible to meet the goal of swimmable rivers. Now, in the annual review discussion that was held at the State Committee, when I read the report, it indicated that members of the committee had raised issues around swimmable rivers, and the Ministry for the Environment had said that it was a challenge and they were going to do their best to think about whether it was possible. It's a bit awkward for them because the minister's going around the country saying that it's impossible to have swimmable rivers because of, guess what, birds, volcanic ash. These are the reasons why we can't have swimmable rivers. And Aotearoa's always had birds. It's always had rivers that have some volcanic ash in it. That's not the issue. The issue that's led to the 62% of monitored rivers that are being unswimmable, which the Ministry for the Environment is both saying they are proud of, but also saying they're recording with regret, is that we have created land uses and we have trashed the environment. We have trashed our rivers through intensive agriculture. We have trashed our rivers through ways of disposing of sewage that are far from optimum, and we have treated rivers as drains. So if the Ministry for the Environment is going to change this, they're going to have to tell their minister to step up to swimmable. Now, swimmable is what everybody outside the ministry and the government wants. They want their mokopuna in that water. They want it clean enough to put their head under. They want national standard, and they want the national policy statement on freshwater to be amended so that we have a goal of swimmable, not boatable or wadable. And all around the country, the ministry officials who participate in this review have had to travel with the minister and listen to community, tangata whenua in particular, telling us either at the meetings or on the hiko that came to Parliament less than 2 weeks ago, we want swimmable. We don't want wadable. In fact, the people would really like to be able to gather the food again. I'm very lucky that I live next to a river where the tuna are healthy, but I haven't seen a native fish for some time. And I think that's the issue. Ministry for Environment is meant to be the guardians of these resources. They're meant to provide a pathway for achieving this taonga to be passed on in terms of fresh water to future generations. And they do make great play of how important water and fresh water is to their strategy. But while we have an NPS that just talks about a non-aspirational, low-level standard of boatable and wadable, we're really not going to get there. And so it is with some concern that I read the rhetoric of the collaboration they're talking about. A lot of resources gone into holding the Land and Water Forum and holding meetings and what they call providing education, Mr. Chair. No, I can't do it.
The Honourable David.